because we have the management of Maruti joining us now. There has been a very strong response to the Maruti Suzuki new launch Grand Vitara. The company, in fact, received 33,000 bookings in 30 days. Shashank Srivastava, the Senior Executive Director, Marketing and Sales at Maruti Suzuki, joins us now to talk about that. Shashank, good morning and thanks a lot for joining us. It's a great product, no two ways about it, but there's so much competition in this SUV space. So just wanted to understand about, what are the features that would perhaps differentiate the Grand Vitara from the current competitors, and when do you intend to announce the pricing of the same?
Well, as far as the pricing of Grand Vitara is concerned, we'll start the sales sometime in September. The production starts in the last week of August. So that's the time when we'll announce the prices. Regarding the competition in this segment, actually now every segment except the lower end, the smaller hatches, every segment is very, very competitive. And the importance of this mid SUV segment where the Grand Vitara is positioned is really important for Maruti Suzuki, because that's a segment which is almost 18% of the market, and our presence there has not been there. So it would be great if we could get good volumes from this segment. It should help us in our market share objective as well. And as far as the total bookings are concerned, yesterday we crossed the 40,000 numbers.
Okay. Shashank, good morning. But given that it would come from Toyota's facility, how much capacity would be dedicated for Maruti for this model?
Yeah, so actually we will have to see what the actual response to the product is once we announce the prices as well. And then we will see how much production is required. But to my knowledge, we have enough capacity in the Toyota plant for the expected sales in this segment.
Okay. One of the concerns that investors have, and I'm sure you've gotten asked this question a lot, is that both players, Toyota and Maruti, are launching the same model, exact same model with different names, right? So how would you target it, or how would you differentiate it? I'm sure there'll be some sort of cannibalization. How are you going to avoid that?
Yeah, so there are two types of competition, as you said. One is the product versus the other manufacturers and other products like the Creta or the Seltos or the Harrier and so on. And that, I believe, is a very large segment. In fact, this segment is almost like 5.5 lakhs. So there is a lot of volumes to be taken in this segment. And therefore comes the second point regarding the cannibalization with similar product. Actually, car buying is not exactly only the product, but it's also a lot of other things, including your systems, your processes, the ease of transactions, the after-sales service, the maintenance, the customer focus, the customer loyalty, the brand image, and so on and so forth. So I believe all those factors can be a differentiator when it comes to even if there are similar products. By the way, if you look at the looks of take the look of the product, the Hyryder from Toyota and the Vitara, the Grand Vitara from Maruti Suzuki, they look different, because the front and the back is actually different, even though the panels may be similar.
Got that point. Now let's get back to the last point you made, Shashank. You said that you would look at the total demand and then see, but you believe that there will be enough capacity. Right now, we're going through such a sort of strong demand in the new launches. What if Toyota also sees, huge demand, and I mean, if combined, it's much more than the capacity. In that case, how would the sort of ratio pan out between Toyota and Maruti?
Yeah, so there are systems by which a fair distribution of the production will happen. And that is based largely on the plans which have been projected on a rolling basis. We are doing that, by the way, in the Baleno, which is the Toyota Glanza. We are supplying to Toyota the Glanza, and also the urban cruiser, which was the Maruti Suzuki Brezza. So there also we follow similar rules of division of production, should there be a capacity constraint.
Shashank, hi, good morning. Would you know what are bookings for Toyota like for the product they are selling?
Actually, no, because we do not have a system of sharing information on sales and marketing for reasons of competition laws. We are not allowed to share or discuss anything related with sales and commercial terms.
Right. Would pricing be, I mean, to your mind, would pricing be largely similar once you decide on pricing? Or could it be meaningfully different? Meaningful enough to make a difference to a customer?
Can't comment because I really don't know what the Toyota pricing would be. In fact, we are still debating our own pricing. So it's difficult to comment when you neither know your own pricing nor the pricing of the high rider.
Okay, Prashant, you're asking that for some personal reasons?
No. I was
debating which car to buy.
No, you know, because the pricing is very similar.
Yeah.
I mean, say you have a Toyota showroom and a Maruti showroom side by side, and a customer walks in, and you got the same. But of course, Shashank said that they look different from the. Maybe there is a differentiation, right?
Yeah.
And maybe you like one look more than the other. But how do you decide? I mean,
that confusion. That's why I was asking. I mean, there could be cannibalization as well, right? But any more new launches on the anvil in FY23?
Yes, so in fact, today we have the launch of the new Alto Sonia. I am in fact at the venue. We'll have the launch in a few hours' time. Also, we would see more launches. Maruti Suzuki will, especially in the SUV segment, you would see more launches coming up shortly. Just one more point, Sonia. I just saw it's something on the ticker saying that Vitara prices to be announced in August end. Actually, we'll be doing it in September.
Oh, you'll be doing it in September. All right, we'll make that correction. Finally, just overall demand, I wanted to understand, because there was a good double-digit growth that you saw in July. For August, how has it been so far, rural versus urban? And what kind of average run rate do you see in terms of sales?
Again, Sonia, great, because that's now coming to be the major point where all the OEMs are discussing. We came back from 2 consecutive quarters of 900,000 plus volumes. Q4 of last year, Q1 of this year. This is the first time ever in the Indian auto industry that this has happened. And on top of it, we had a July sale of 342,000, which is also great, because it's the highest ever wholesale in any month of any year in the auto industry. And August looks similar. Actually, the beginning has been pretty strong, and it is possible that it might actually be the highest ever month. Also, it's possible. It's very close to the July numbers we predict. So last year, it was about 260,000 was the sale in August. So you could see a growth of upward of 30% in August alone.
Okay, one last question, Shashank. Your competitor Mahindra launched Scorpio and they got 1 lakh bookings in 30 minutes. Surely, at some point, as a market leader, that must hurt you, right? You must be thinking we should also come out with something like this, which generates this kind of hysteria.
Not really. I mean, the booking system for different manufacturers is different. So our best wishes to Mahindra for that very great and the rapid bookings in 30 minutes. It was, of course, done on the internet. So our system is a little different. So actually very well done for Mahindra. My best wishes, our best wishes to them for the future.
Historically, is there do people drop out as well? Because the booking amount is refundable, right? I mean, not just for you, but across the board.
Yes.
How many stay? Is there a way to?
So it's different for different types of booking. Historically, actually about 33% of the bookings drop out historically. So it varies from month to month, but for different reasons, not just for a change of choice, but also for non-availability of finance or some such issues. People do drop out. Historically, that average is about 32-33%.
All right.
Sorry, I just had one question. Since you said that, Mahindra has used this route online where they have this whole new system where you can book your SUV online, you can look at the colors, etc. Why doesn't Maruti follow that same channel?
Actually, we can follow that.
Because it's working, right, for them, clearly.
Okay, but we never know who are those guys who are booking actually. So we follow the more conservative route. We do have a platform where you can book or digitally, but ideally we would like the consumers to check the vehicles and look at the vehicle, and we also the consumer the dealer gets in touch with the consumer also. We find that the dropout rate there would be much lower, I suppose. But that is our opinion, and clearly Mahindras have taken a different route.
All right, Shashank, we'll leave it there today. Thanks a lot for joining us. Both of you, of course, have been great companies. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Gurmeet, you want to weigh in on Maruti? The stock's done well, of course, over the last 6 months.
Some of the I think positives could be in the price. It's almost run up to 9,000 levels. I think what is heartening is it's getting the product gaps filled now. So they had this UV gap. They lost almost 8% market share, down to 43% from 51. So I think they're likely to get back some share. If you see their annual report, they talk of 2 million units FY23, which essentially will translate to almost 49-50% market share. I think, but as I said, something could be priced. I still like M&M despite the run-up, still available, 15, 16 times earnings. And there are multiple levers there. I think the tractor segment should pick up in second half of the year. They're gaining market share there. Also, some impact of commodity prices coming off will start reflecting in their margins as well. And I think the SUV portfolio really excites me. I think they've done phenomenally. In fact, I was looking at the EV launches also. Obviously, that will probably started getting reflected in FY 24-25 onwards, but looks very impressive, and I think they're likely to again gain market share. And SUVs is the fastest growing segment, so that will add both to numbers as well as the margins going forward.
I mean, just about 3-4% of Indians own a car. So the big growth should come from entry level, but there is pressure on entry level, as the Maruti management has also told us many times in the past. Guys, I was talking to someone yesterday, and this is pure coincidence. I just remembered. This person said he booked a Mahindra car. I remember which one, last year, and he waited for about 4 months. No sign of delivery. So he said, I cancelled my booking and I bought the share at 850. And he said,
Best
1,200,
decision ever.
1,300. It's like, so yeah.
Now he can buy a Mercedes instead.